Hello, I'm David Krapf, editor-in-chief of WorkBoat magazine and workboat.com. And today we're with Captain Alan Bernstein, who's the owner of BB Riverboats in Newport, Kentucky, which is right across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. And his operation, Captain Alan has three vessels: the Bella Cincinnati, the River Queen, the River's Edge. And then also, a couple of months ago, he also opened that's almost as good timing as me closing on a house on March 15th. But you opened a brand new Newport landing dock facility on the River's Edge. You called the River's Edge, I believe, is a private event space.
That's right.
Which is adjacent to where you dock the vessels, I believe, 225 guests.
Yep.
But today we'll obviously talk about how the coronavirus is affecting your business and the passenger vessel industry in general. And also we'll get into some of the programs that are available to the passenger vessel operators to get over this rough stress. I guess so the first question, Alan, is what are passenger vessel operators like yourself going through at the moment and what are you doing to basically, I guess, stay afloat until all this passes?
Well, in our case, David, we have furloughed everybody, including my family. There's no harder thing to do than to furlough a member of your family. So it was a unique situation, but I can tell you that everybody in our organization, and I think industry-wide, the passenger vessel industry realizes how very bad this could be, and we wish everybody well. Certainly our employees. Our employees are really members of our family. I talk to them on a regular basis, even though they're on furlough. But we're thinking about them, and we hope to get back to work as soon as we're allowed to do that.
Now the furlough obviously includes your crews, your mariners. So
Yes.
And you're gonna need these even before the outbreak of coronavirus. I know one of the big issues is a shortage of qualified mariners.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when you get back into operation, you're going to want these mariners back. So what are you doing to ensure you're going to have a full complement of mariners?
Well, as I said, David, we talk to them on a regular basis. They live in the area here, so it's not like I'm using mariners from New Orleans or Pittsburgh. Our mariners live locally. Fortunate for us, we have about 6 or 7 captains here. We have 3 main captains. We have 2 chief engineers. So we stay in touch with them. They understand that obviously we can't be open. We've been ordered to be closed. So they are waiting. We talk to them and they're doing well. They understand, and hopefully in a week or so now, we'll be given an okay to at least get them back to work. The payroll protection program sort of makes you pay them. And my personal philosophy is I don't particularly like to pay people to stay at home. So we have some work that we would like our mariners and our crews to do prior to opening our doors for the public. So we have work, and our plan is to bring them back under the payroll protection program. We've been approved. Actually, I am told that this afternoon they are going to fund our money. So our clock will start today in getting them back to work. So I think that's a bit of good news, and we have plenty to do. We've been, in reality, David, we missed Valentine's Day because of high water. So that was a Mother Nature thing. But right after that is when we were, shut down. So we've been shut down since right around Valentine's Day. So it's a long time. It's been a long time.
I know and this pertains to us also with the International Workboat Show. People being in close proximity. So what you do in the boats is almost the same thing. It's just on a smaller scale. Because I assume all your boats are T-boats, which 150 passengers are right, pretty much.
No, well, actually not. We have an H boat.
Oh, yeah.
Our Bella Cincinnati is a big boat. I do think that we can very easily social distance on our big boat. It would be the only one. You're right. The T and K boat that we have, there's not a whole lot of social distancing room. But on our big boat, there is substantial room to have people not sit next to each other, people who want to go out on the deck to not stand next to each other. So our big boat has an excellent situation for social distancing.
Now, what are you seeing from now other passenger vessel operators? They're pretty. I'm sure a lot of them, though the operations can vary. Everyone has a different dining type operation, or if they cruise, they do more excursions or etc. But they're all essentially going through the same thing that you are.
Right. We're all in the same boat, no pun intended, but we're all in the same boat. And I talk to many of them as regularly as I can. I talked to Terry Virginis up in Pittsburgh, Gus, many of the normal suspects that you would think, and they're just waiting it out just like we are. I think it's important to say that our business, when the government says you can open, our business is not like a restaurant where you open the door and people will walk through the door.
Right.
Our business is more outward. So people have to make plans to come and they'd have to make reservations and all that stuff. So we really think there's a lag in time from the day they say to open to when we actually will have our first passenger.
Alan, as you know, the passenger vessel sector was really on a roll. And of course, whenever, it's almost like you're at Vegas. Oh, I'm playing blackjack and I've won 10 hands in a row. But the passenger vessel sector really was on a 3 or 4 year roll. And everything, I think everything long term is still in their favor. The baby boomers, et cetera, the pent up demand, more people want to stay domestically for cruises, et cetera. But what do you see happening after this initial period you're just talking about? What do you see happening? I think personally it's going to be a pent up demand and people are going to want to take to the water.
Well, and I think they are too, David. I just don't know to the extent, and you bring up a great point. The last 3.5 years have been gangbusters. We made a decision to buy our new wharf and our new facility based on the arrows still going way up on the curve, and then this happens. So I am hopeful that people will still celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, whatever, and they will think of us to do that. We are one of those places, and we think we're going to be okay, Dave. We are very optimistic that we're going to be okay. Will it be like it was? I can't say that. I don't know. We have grappled with that. Should we run 1 boat, 2 boats, 3 boats? And fortunately, that's going to be a choice of ours. Although demand will also make that easy for us to say, well, we need to run a 2nd boat or we need to run a 3rd boat. But generally speaking, we think there's going to be a pretty good demand once we get out of this doldrum, and we're looking forward to that.
Now, I know they've had the no sail order for,
Yes.
You probably read that, where it's
Yes.
Passengers plus crew, I think it's 250. But that, I think, is synonymous with this coronavirus outbreak. So I feel like that's all going to be lifted all at the same time. But still, you would be able to probably come in under that 250 in a lot of cases anyway.
Well, in a lot of cases, we certainly could. I am going to just guess. This is my guess from everything that I've heard, and it sort of changes every half hour. But right now, my guess is that the Coast Guard and the government's going to say you can have half of your capacity if your COI is 500, you can have 250.
Right.
In our case, our big boat is 1,000-passenger boat, and I think the logical number would be 500, which we can do very, very easily on our big boat. There can be social distancing. There's plenty of outdoor space on our boat. So we're optimistic if they say half, that we still would be able to do a substantial business and provide social distancing.
Okay, great. Alan, is there anything else you want to add about the payroll protection program? Of course, there's the new Main Street lending program.
Right.
Did you want to say anything really quickly about it?
Yeah, sure. The payroll protection is pretty straightforward, and we're complying with that. We are applying for the Main Street loan. We're going to need about $1.5 million to reopen from the fact that we've had all these cancellations and people want refunds. That's a very large number in our case, as well as the payables in the business that we lost. That is what we're going to need, the Main Street loan or the SBA loan or whatever loans we're going to be able to. We did not hoard cash like we should have. Now that we've learned a valuable lesson, we're going to need some help to get open, and we don't think it's going to be a problem. We think that the government is going to help us, and the people that we've been dealing with want to help us. So we're fortunate that I think everybody's on our side. We just have to get all this stuff done. But we are going to apply for a Main Street loan.
Yeah, because I read that the PPP is intended to help a participating business through the near term. I guess that's June 30th. The Main Street loan can provide assistance for a longer period.
Right.
And then I was reading the Passenger Vessel Association member update, which was, it appears that many, if not most, PVA members will be able to apply for the loan under the program. So that's good news.
Yes, it is. And honestly, David, I won't take too long, but the payroll program is really to get people off of unemployment, the state unemployment roll, which is okay because we need them. The Main Street loan is to help us get back into business for either the business that we have given up. Obviously, we've canceled a ton of business. I think it's already in the $1.5 million level, maybe a little bit more.
Right.
So we need the Main Street or the SBA or somebody to help us get over that hump, get back into operation, and then we can start with a good cash flow and start paying all this stuff back. Everybody wants it back. So,
right.
I'm in favor of that. I don't think our country can afford to just give $2.8 trillion and not ask people to pay it back. So I'm not asking for a gift. I'm asking for help to get open, and then we'll pay it back as our business dictates.
Right. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot, Alan. Alan Bernstein, owner of B&B Riverboats in Newport, Kentucky.
And my article in WorkBoat every month. And
I do. That's right. Alan is one of our columnists, the Captain's Table, every month. Generates.
I get a lot of feedback. So yeah, as you know.
All right, Alan. Well, I hope you stay safe. Stay safe, and your mother and your family. And
you too, David. Stay in touch, and we'll do whatever we can do to get things rolling here.
And hopefully, we'll see you at the WorkBoat show too.
I will be there.
Okay.
Okay.